My name is Cynthia. Should I forgot to take my glasses off. I'm still getting used to that, not having them on at times, just to sort of help so there's not the glare off the lenses. Thank you for being here. And to this little setup here, you can see I was getting a little bit, like I don't know if fatigued is the right word, but just like I wanted a break from, oh yeah, I guess so. I guess this is just loading here on my little tablet. I have this tablet on so that I can follow the chat, but it looks like it's struggling to load the reading. The signal's a little... Oops. I'm sorry, you guys, while I deal with this. I didn't mean to have this be a thing. Let me pull it back up and see if this can get going. I have this up so that I can watch the chat, like I said, but it seems like it's struggling a little bit with the signal. I'll try not to worry too much about that right now. Anyways, hi, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I'm going to do some Obsidian mirror scrying this evening after I do a card layout. And I'm also going to pull some tiles here, I think. And then the other thing I just wanted to talk about is, okay, I'm sorry, this is bugging me. I said I wasn't going to worry about it, but I am worrying about it. Oh, there it is. Now it's going. Okay. So the other thing I just wanted to cover too, though, before we got started is like a channeled message that I got recently for someone. It's a little dark, but I'm hoping that it reaches whoever needs to hear it, or it'll be maybe confirmation for somebody, or if it's none of those things, it might just be intriguing stuff to look up on Google after we're done. I don't know what. So the first thing, though, I just wanted to talk about is this Bushmills that I brought in. I'm going to have a drink, which is very untypical of me. I never drink almost anymore, particularly whiskey, because I like it, but it gets me like staggering blackout drunk. So the reason I brought it, though, is because I have a spirit guide, or, you know, there's a lot of different language for that. I use the word spirit guide, but you can use the word egg bay, you know, your soul family, right? Your people on the other side and energies on the other side that are guiding you. And one of my spirit guides likes brown liquor. He likes brown liquor, and he likes potatoes, like fried potatoes. Those are the things that he likes me to offer him in exchange for his help. And so even though he's a little bit like kind of like a rude boy energy from the islands, he's not necessarily from Ireland, but he likes brown liquor. And so I thought this is the first time I've known this about him, that he likes brown liquor. So I decided, well, I'll get some Bushmills and I'll just see how he likes Irish whiskey, because I really like Irish whiskey. But again, like I said, I stay away from it anymore, because I just like it. It goes down really smooth, and then before you know it, I'm in like a brownout or a blackout, and I don't like to drink like that. I don't think that's good for anyone, honestly. But I wanted to honor my spirit guide that's been showing up for me lately and making himself known more and more to me. So I'm just sending up good energy to him as a thank you. And I already made my offering to him yesterday. So I went out and made an offering to him in nature of some brown liquor and some fried potatoes with salt that I made, because those are the things that he asked for. And so if you've never done that and you're curious about getting more acquainted with those energies on the other side, right, or in the etheric plane, you can start doing things like YouTube's got tons of meditations, like Meet a Spirit Guide, you know, videos that you can just lay down and listen to in meditation. You can also do things like automatic writing, like ask your spirit guides to start making themselves more known to you through, and you can just sit and kind of write and ask them questions. That's one way they show up for you in dreams a lot. This smells good. I gotta go ahead and take a sip. Whiskey neat. Cheers, everybody. TGIF. And as you can see, I don't really play it small. I think this is like 3 fingers. Yeah, okay, it's only 3 fingers. It's not 4, at least. But I love Bushmills and I love Jameson too. So anyways, and if you're having a drink for Friday, I celebrate with you the end of the week, the end of the workers' week, right? We just came through May Day also celebrating workers. So I got a channeled message. Oh, I didn't finish that thought. Sorry, I'm a little bit scattered. I meant to say, so you can find out who your guides are and what they like, right? You can do that through trance work. You can do it through meditation. You can do it by burning incense and letting your eyes kind of go soft focus and just go inside and ask, you know, and you get better at it the more you exercise those muscles. I have another guide one of my first spirit guides that I met, who's actually an ancestor. And she goes back 1,000 years, right? Because this was an exercise I did with my teacher. It wasn't just with me, it was with our group that we were learning from her. And she asked us during our trance, we're going to go back and meet an ancestor from 1,000 years ago. And I was like, wow, this is so exciting. And so my ancestor at that time, I don't know this ancestor's name yet that likes brown liquor. I need to find out. I keep asking and not being sure yet. But my ancestor that was in Europe, like maybe somewhere around Great Britain, her name was Roby, and she carried a distaff with her, which if you know what a distaff is, it's sort of like a spindle. It's a tool that women use to spin wool into yarn, which is a very ancient practice, right? And I was like, oh, I have goosebumps even thinking about Roby. Her name was Roby. And I asked her, and I was guided by my teacher at the time to ask at the end of the trance work, what I can offer her. And so when I asked that question at the end, she said, I would like a rabbit fur, which is so interesting to me, right? Like that's something I never would have come up with on my own. That's why I know. And I've learned to trust these kinds of intuitive guidances. And so I found a place where I could find a rabbit pelt by some indigenous folks that have a store up in this area. And now she has a rabbit pelt on my altar just for her, just in honor of her. And this spirit guide, I recently learned this is how he wants to be honored, with brown liquor and potatoes and lime. Also, he likes lime, which is why I did a lime twist here with my Bushmills tonight. So it's really cool and fun to develop your relationship with your guides. And if you already are someone who has those relationships in place, let me know. Like, put in the comments, like, yeah, my guide likes this and that as an offering at the altar or whatever, right? I love learning about stuff like that. And it reminds me too of the tradition of like pouring a little bit of your drink out on the ground before you take a sip. And that's what I did yesterday, was pour a little bit out, tested it myself, tested my potatoes to make sure they were good, and then I left them in a natural place for him. So anyways, sorry, I'm going on and on about that. It's just because I'm super into it right now. So the message that I got is a little bit of an older message. I got it close to a month ago now, but it was very vivid and specific for someone. And I kind of just had to think through, because this kind of channeled message is new for me. So that's why I'm delivering it a month later. But I'm getting more and more secure about these kinds of messages. And so I'm going to start just delivering them when they come and not waiting and having to sort through it so much. I'm just getting more secure in what I'm receiving when I get these kinds of hits. So this is around somebody's death, a young person's death. They died in Moab, Utah, on a mountain biking trail called the Captain Ahab Trail. The death was ruled an accident, but for some reason, the reason this came to me is because somebody suspects that this young person's death wasn't an accident, but that it was planned. There was another message associated with it, that someone who may have been the one to create this accident scenario for this young person so that it would look like an accident, because this mountain biking trail is apparently really difficult. It's really high skill. It's not for just any Joe Schmo to go out and try mountain biking on. It's a pretty advanced trail. And it's like the message that I got was that these people who knew that they were going to be taking this mountain biking trip with him knew that it would be an opportunity where his death would look like an accident. And I'm very sorry. I know this is weird. I'm not used to doing this kind of messaging either. But it's something that somebody already suspects, which is why it came through to me. I think that's what it took me a while to kind of sort through. And that's why I didn't want to deliver the message, because I thought, well, who am I to be getting a message like that? And I don't even live anywhere near Utah. I don't know Moab, right? Like, I just was like, this is weird. Captain Ahab, like, I just couldn't figure it out. And so I didn't really trust myself to give that message at first, but that's the message that came through. And so the part of what these people who plotted this against this young person, the other message was, in part, they were paid and they got rewarded with some kind of a boat, like a speedboat or some kind of nice, luxurious boat. Honestly, I can't remember now if it was a speedboat or I feel like it was an Asian model, like a Suzuki or something. Does that even sound right? Does Suzuki make boats? I don't know. It was some kind of, it might not have been Suzuki, but it was something. I feel like the boat had an Asian name or Asian company name, right? Maker. So anyways, that's all. Someone hopefully is going to hear this message at some point and it's going to have relevance to them. And it's like a confirmation for you that I picked up on. There's reason to be suspicious that something happened in this young person's death that is suspicious. Okay. So that's all I know. I'm not going to try to do a bunch of digging and following up and trying to get to the bottom of it. The place that I landed was just to deliver that message to someone. And so I did. And so that's all for that. And that's the only preliminary message that I got. Although I did want to pull a couple cards about it just for any clarifying information before. Bear with me, guys. I'm learning how to do this kind of shuffling, like the tarot card shuffles, and I'm terrible at it so far. Okay, that's interesting because when I was pulling cards on it ahead of the reading, the Fool card came out and a bunch of other Wands cards. Not the 3, though. It was the 2 of Wands. So it strikes me is that either, I don't know why the Fool card is here, because it signifies a new start or a new beginning. So it's just, I guess it's going to mean something to the people who that card is. Love came through in the other one too. So it might have been something to do with a love relationship or a third party here, like a third party love relationship where somebody in the equation had a lot of money to get rid of someone, okay, for whatever reason. I don't know, this young person. I looked the place up and found, I was like, I wonder if it was that person. I don't know. Oh, hey, I've got some folks here. Hi, James. Hi, Taha. I know, candles on the bed. I have it on this sheet here so that it won't, they won't, or I mean, not sheet, but like tray, so that they're more stable, but I know what you mean. And so I'll just say that now while everybody's here. I don't advise people to burn candles at the bed. I'm doing it because I'm not planning on going to sleep. I'm right here. And I also thought of that too before bringing in this liquor. Was like, do I want to have candles burning on the bed with this liquor? It's kind of gambling, right? It's playing with fire a little bit. So anyways, I hear you and I appreciate what you're saying, most definitely. And I did think twice before I did this, put these candles out, and they're running low. They might not even make it through the full reading. So anyways, yeah, there was some type of, maybe this person thought that they were going to have a new beginning once this other young person was out of the way. It was some sort of collaborative new start is what was the motive maybe for that situation. So it's interesting that this very similar cards came out. So I think I was kind of on the right track. So, all right, let's get into it and see what we're looking at in terms of a general layout. What's going to be important for this collective to know? What is going to be important for this collective to know? It is very muggy here. It's not very warm out. It's in like the low 60s, but it feels super hot because it's so muggy. But I hope you're doing well out there. Thank you for being here. We're just going to see what comes out for this collective message. What's going to be important to know? Wow, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, woo, this is super interesting. Let's go, Spirit. I'm into it already. So we've got the Page of Swords, the King of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Ace of Swords, all in the foundation. So that's a lot of clarity, a lot of air element. I might have air signs here watching in the collective. The facts are that there's going to be clarity. If you in the collective are lacking clarity right now, the facts are that you're about to get major clarity, major recognition, major understanding about what's actually going on. Either that or you're in that moment right now. You've had an aha about something. Hi, Maria Luisa Sanchez. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate anyone that's catching this live so much. Thank you. Really appreciate you. So let's see here. We've got swords. Swords. But it's so interesting that it's only in the foundational column. There's no more swords in the layout. Very cool. So our vulnerability is making some kind of a decision, and we may have been struggling with clarity until this point, and now the clarity that you need is coming in to help you make the decision. And it's a decision about who you want to build with, who you want to work with in the future, who is going to be on your team essentially, and who you're going to create with, who you're going to build with, and who's going to be materially alongside you, right? Not just in your mind, but actually physically with you doing the work. Your strength is the Ace of Wands. So major opportunity here. And for not only clarity, but mastery and peace. You've been in kind of a watching and waiting stance. And I have the sense that you've been watching and waiting because you know that clarity was going to come in for you. And so you had the wisdom to understand, I can't be hasty. I shouldn't make any moves until this clarity arrives. Well, it's here. It's in the facts position. And not only are you receiving clarity, you're receiving a major opportunity. That's your strength. There's a huge opportunity coming for you that's going to bring you a ton of success and actually into an entirely new era. You might be moving. You might be going across the country, or like not the country, the world. That's what I'm picking up on with this world card, that you might actually be moving locations to another part of the globe. It's happening quickly now, whereas before things may have been very calm and at a standstill, and you knew enough to bide your time and wait. You had the wisdom to understand that. Now all of a sudden everything's going to start picking up. There's an opportunity. It's a collaboration. We've got a 3-3 here, and we've got an ace and a 3 and a 3. And then, I mean, you're just going to take off. You're going to be leaving soon, honestly. Physically is what it's giving here, is that somebody's going to be moving. And again, like I said, this could be a job opportunity. It could be any kind of opportunity yet. I'm not really sure. It's very exciting. I feel a lot of rushing energy maybe from this chariot, but it's I feel like it's rushing through this space right here. Like there's a lot of rushing fast energy of excitement, and it's because it's like you've been waiting on this clarity, and now that it's here, everything's going to be in motion. Like everything that was eluding you in this stillness is all clicking into place. Like I also just saw Tetris, like you leveling up in Tetris, or even like beating the Tetris game and getting that winning screen, whatever it is, when you beat Tetris. I don't know, because I'm not much of a gamer. I was a gamer with like Atari. Atari and stuff was about as far as I went. because I don't have the greatest hand-eye coordination. So this is very exciting. What's the opportunity, Spirit? What's the Ace of Wands? And what's the clarity that was coming in? I want to know it all. This is a very exciting reading. What's so interesting here is that you're kind of embodying a duality of a King of Swords and a Page of Swords. This could also be a parent and a child, that you're moving, you and your child are moving across the world. But the way that it was coming through to me first is that you had the wisdom of a King of Swords to know that you need to behave like a page and just blend in and not be in a king energy, but to me be more like a page and just kind of watch and wait. Okay. And that was a very wise and strategic approach, and wait in stillness, almost like a serpent frozen still right before they strike. Okay. That's coming through. It was a really wise move on your part. What's this opportunity? What's coming in here? Is it in, oops. Is it in work or what? Tell us more about this opportunity. There are no cups on the spread so far, so it may not be love related, but sometimes a love reading starts to come out and surprise me just when I say it's not a love reading. So let's see. What's this opportunity that and what have you gotten clarity about? What's the situation here? You've been in some kind of a competition for this. You might have been trying to get a new job, and you were one of many contenders. It's been whatever process this has been of you having to really lay low and blend in. It's been pretty exhausting, and you've been really worried on more than one occasion that you weren't going to succeed and that you were going to end up falling behind or being left behind by other people who maybe are better at whatever this is than you. Or what is this? What's the situation here? What's this about? There was a lot of conflict around the opportunity. So that strikes me as competition. Like other people wanted this and you have gotten it. What is this opportunity? It's very exciting, whatever it is, and it's going to really, everything's going to take off for you. Everything's about to take off for you. So there was somebody that was trying to take this opportunity from you. It's a trickster. It's someone that was showing up and trying to compete with you for the opportunity in a pretty sneaky or underhanded way. They might have created illusion. They fought a lot of different ways. They fought by making you worried about your material security. They also fought about like possibly taking your creative ideas. And what this is saying is that that's over. They didn't succeed, and you're grounding in abundance for yourself because you are the one that's winning this opportunity. You are victorious. You're triumphant. You know that. So you've already learned that you've triumphed here and that you've been the one. It's still not saying whether it was a job or what. What is this? What is this, Spirit? What was the opportunity? What is this opportunity? It's very exciting, whatever it is. I mean, there's a very big change coming in your life, and it's a very successful and exciting change. And you've had a lot of skill and wisdom in knowing how to bring this into your life, but you're tired. I mean, you were worried at points whether you were going to make it because of this trickster is what it looks like. Because someone was trying to take the opportunity, you were worried that they were going to succeed. And it keeps coming through that maybe someone was trying to steal your creative work. What's the opportunity? It has something to do with healing. You might be a content creator, or you might be a reader. And in fact, I've been getting inspiration in the last week to do a reading for readers. And I've been trying to think, am I just going to do it on occasion, or am I actually going to make a playlist of card readings and divination for other readers and diviners, right? And have a, because I enjoy that kind of thing. And as a therapist, I also like seeing clients who are also therapists, right? I enjoy that. And so I've been mulling over, and this might be sort of coming out in a way as I've been putting this idea out into my own kind of energy. You might be someone who does this kind of work, and somebody likes your work and someone's trying to steal it. If it's not reading and divination, it's other creative work though. It's something involving healing though. Either it's been important for your healing, or you do work that is healing work. You're like a social worker or a doctor or a massage therapist, right? It's something where you're getting this major opportunity as a healer, and it's showing again that you're pretty tired. The 10 of Wands and also the 9 of Wands, it's been a rough battle, okay? But there's communication that has come in indicating that you've succeeded, and that you're the one that's getting this opportunity, nobody else. What kind of creative work is this? And then we'll get some cards about who was the trickster and what happened there. What was the deal with them? Why did they want what you're doing? It's going to make you very wealthy, is what it's saying. And this is the early stages of it right now, but it's already in motion to some degree, which strikes me as you've already had these ideas for a while. What's the opportunity here? Ooh, yeah, it's going to make you very wealthy, and you're going to be enthroned in your power as well with this Emperor card. You're going to have a lot of options, a lot of choices about where this opportunity is taking you. You have a skill as a healer or as a creative person. You have a real skill that's going to open so many doors for you that it almost is overwhelming. But it's also going to bring you from a King of Swords into an Emperor, where you have an empire, honestly. Like, this is big. So whenever you have this kind of big idea or big creative work or big talent, big whatever, of course there's these little fives that want to take it from you, or that want to trick you out of it, or that see that you have skill even before you recognize how much skill you have, and want to take your work before it even gets off the ground. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I worry about that sometimes with my channel, honestly, because I know I do good work. And so early on I started thinking I better get smart here pretty quickly and start. You can't copyright YouTube content necessarily, but you can do things like trademark your name, or do, copyright your visual work. Like, I've made my own deck and I'm making my own visual deck. So I got smart early on, like, I need to copyright this now before I start blasting it all over my social media about all these images I'm making or these ideas that I'm having for my channel and whatever, right? So it's that level of idea and skill and talent that we're talking about here. There's a lot of eyes on you, and people are watching what you're doing and wanting it and trying to trick you out of it, or like, I had somebody several months ago, I looked and there was this new channel that started right around the same time mine did, and her name was so similar that I was like, what the hell? Like, I feel like, and she already had her own channel this was like a second channel for her. And I was suspicious. I was like, this person might be trying to come up on my title, and she can because she already has the following. And that could just be me being paranoid, right? But it's stuff like that. I'm using that as an example to just try to illustrate it. It's things like this. People that might have the understanding and know about the discipline that you do or the creative work that you make, to know that it's good, even more than you might know. And that may put you at a vulnerability of having people take your work because it's better than you even maybe realize or something, right? That's also kind of coming through. What else about this? Who's this person? Who's the fox trickster here? Or were there more than one? Like, who are the people trying to take this from you? What is this? Who's trying to take this opportunity from you? What's their story? Who are they, or what's the energy? Ten of Virgo, I believe. 10 degrees of Virgo. And if I remember right, this is a card that indicates danger. So let's see what it says here. Born over the tempestuous waves, overcoming obstacles, fighting the unchained elements and remorseless destiny with the help of the gods, the vessel reaches port after innumerable difficulties. Her sides ripped open, her masts broken, but still able to resist the onslaught of the waves. God, that's weird because boats came through that channeled message for somebody, that a boat had been given as a payoff for somebody to betray somebody else. So that's kind of wild. This card represents difficult enterprises which may lead to successful results after losses and difficulties. Well, that's what this is reflecting. These are the difficulties that you already went through. It's now on the way to the successful part of this endeavor, but you've been through a major set of difficulties. It indicates disputes between partners, relatives, friends, or marriage partners. Worries and troubles, but financial success will ensue through courage and powerful help. Yeah, and it indicates to here at the center of things with the Three of Pentacles that you're finding your right community of people to work with you. So this could have been friends or family that was trying to one-up you, okay? Let's get some more about that here. What happened? Who was trying to fight with you over this? Or, I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's won here and you're going to be taking off. But I just want to get more information about, like, what was it? What happened? Was it friends and family? Does this tie in at all to that reading about that young person's death in Moab, or what? Like, what's this whole story here? What happened? Counseling. So someone here is a healer, and I think it's you. Someone betrayed you, though. Like, someone may have liked your clinical approach, and so they started trying to publish based on what you do in your therapy or something, right? Someone also didn't like the commitments and the opportunities you had in love, okay? So, or else that's what's coming for you. Let me just see. Yeah, career. You're a helping professional. So that can look any number of ways. I'm a social worker, but I also do this, right? And so you might be that. You might have a more traditional healing work, like you might be a nurse or a doctor. It's your career. You also might be a counselor here. You might be a marriage counselor, honestly, or you've been to marriage counseling. You might have been in marriage counseling with the person who's ultimately tried to take you down here. It's coming out a lot of different ways for a lot of people. Tell me more about this. Who was the relationship that betrayed you or tried to steal your idea here or take your work or compete with you for your work. Yeah, so you might have a platform, and you might be somebody like Dr. Ramani who has a YouTube channel all about narcissism, right? You might be somebody like that who's out there in the world as kind of a healer or an advice giver or a channeler or anything like that. It could also be mainstream professional like nursing, doctor, counselor, social worker, clergy, right? Whatever you're doing, it's really good, okay? It's been a long, hard road to get the reputation that you've achieved for yourself. It's been challenging at times. You may have had to run kind of a gauntlet to get the recognition that you deserve, but you've arrived and you're getting it. Someone tried to take it from you, though. Someone pretty much straight up tried to take your ideas here, is what I'm picking up. And this can look like, you know, basically plagiarizing your content or plagiarizing your papers that you've written or your written material on the subject, right? It could also look like, you know, if you have a channel like I do, someone taking all of your audio and starting a new channel with your actual literal recordings, right? And that happens. It happens to other tarot readers, right? So it's pretty shady. It's important to know that you are okay. You're getting this opportunity. They haven't successfully stolen your idea, luckily. What else should you know about this? What else should you know about this? Look for what's being left out. What is the missing element? So in the original layout, cups was the missing element. We've had some cups show up since then, but love and the water element were missing. There was a lot of energy of the mind, the creative aspect of self, your sacral chakra, your creative fires, and making that material. There wasn't a lot of love present with this other party's attempt to steal your work, which you're a healer and love is central to healing, right? And so this other party that was trying to steal your work didn't bring the heart to the work that you do, and that's why they failed. That's why they failed. Harness the power of poison to heal. So now that you've been through this and been through this sort of stormy seas of trying to get your project off the ground and all the stress that comes with starting a new project and who can I trust, and clearly I trusted some of the wrong people along the way, use it as a learning experience. You're wiser now, right? So it's just saying, like, learn from some of the challenges that you were faced, right? So that you don't have to do that again. Yeah, you can use it to integrate your own inner masculine and feminine, going within and alchemizing, like this Temperance card says. You can heal yourself as well through this process. Let go of your timeline, trust the natural flow of nature. So this new world and the new opportunity is coming for you. It's your strength and it's a fact. And you've seen the light. You know that someone was trying to steal your work. You are aware of it at this point. You've caught on. What's important to know about the project? What kind of project is this? The flirt, so that was on the split. Yeah, and the innovator. So whatever you're doing in terms of love or relationship counseling or marriage, right? Like, you could be a content creator again, like I know I keep saying, but whatever you're doing, it's highly innovative, okay? So You also, the flirt card keeps speaking to me about this commitment, meaning like it might have something to do with relationships. What you do, you might provide relationship counsel or love counsel, like many tarot readers do, or like counselors do, right? You could also be sort of a flirt, and that's what's making you succeed, is because you have a persona that's kind of flirtatious, right? So people like watching your work or listening to you speak or whatever, right? In any case, you're an innovator, though. Yeah, the scientist. And you've done a lot. I mean, this strikes me as that King of Swords. A King of Swords is very scientifically minded. So you've been very discerning about how to bring some of this forward in a methodical way so that people know they can trust your work, so that you don't sound just like any old charlatan, right? So you know, actually know what you're talking about. Let's see what else here. I'll pull a couple of these Colette Baron Reed cards, and then I'll do a little bit of scrying and tile pulling, and we'll call it good. So thank you for being here. I kind of actually want to get some more details about this, though, honestly. I can't help it. Like, I'm curious about what all this was. Like, what are you doing? You're doing really awesome work. Maybe it's better that it didn't come out, though. It might still kind of need protection. Flexible. So you're going to have to be adaptable as your work takes off, because there's going to be a lot of eyes on it. You're going to have to be able to pivot quickly if and when needed. Even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you still need to relax and open up to other possibilities, like this Seven of Cups. Spirit may have much better plans for you. Yeah, dude, because you're going from a King of Swords to an Emperor. So that's Spirit having bigger plans for you than even you can imagine, straight up. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some other opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this or something better manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. Okay, that's good to know. So it's going to surprise you. This is not over by a long shot. And in fact, there's still some surprises in store for you also, as the creator of this work, is what it sounds like. Let me see if I can see anything in the mirror here that might give us more information about this. So I'm seeing one of the white canes that the blind community uses to move about. And I keep seeing a flicker, like even though the candles are all not in front of this mirror, I'm seeing like a flash at points. So there's some kind of again, that kind of strikes me as having something to do with vision, because it was showing me this flash almost like a strobe light. And a toad. I'm seeing a toad. Now I'm seeing a scene from a movie. It's called Soy Cuba. It's a movie that came out in the 90s, I think. And it's an amazing movie, for one thing. I highly recommend it. But there's a scene in the movie, I can't really remember. I'm going to mangle trying to describe it, but it's like when yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like my words are failing me here. So it shows people at the movie theater, basically, like a Cuban audience. They're watching a 3D movie at the movies. It's black and white, and they're all staring at the screen. That's the shot. And then it's like it pans out, and the way that the camera work is done makes it so you realize that you are now involved in the scene as the viewer. It's like the camera then takes the position of you, the viewer. So it's almost like a dream within a dream, or these people are in the movie and now you're watching the movie inside the movie, if that makes sense. I wish I could capture it. I can't. It's a really brilliant scene. Like, I remember when I saw the scene, because I saw that movie in the theater, and when I saw the scene itself, I was like, what? Like, it kind of blew my mind, and that was the intent, was to like place you within the movie, basically, as a viewer. It was really cool how it was done. So there's something like that. Like, you might have this really unique and interesting way to engage the viewer with your work so that they are a part of the work or something. I don't know. Very cool, though. It's interesting. Yeah, and it's showing me like a green light that's like a rim around something. Something is like trimmed with green, or green light has a meaning. Green light comes through a lot for me in this obsidian mirror, though. I should just say that. And I have yet to discern why that is, but it's green is a color that comes through a lot. Kind of a bright spring green, and it's coming through right now. Green is the color of the heart chakra. And heart's what was missing from this imposter's attempt to use. They don't have your light. It's not shining through the way it does in your work. Yeah, something about that movie has relevance, because now I'm seeing it again. That another scene from that movie. Oh my God, this is even more intense, because we have a new Pope, Pope Leo. And there's a scene in Soy Cuba where this man is with a sex worker, basically, Afro-Caribbean sex worker. He takes her into this little room, and it becomes clear that he's a priest, and he's hired her as a sex worker. And that scene is really God, I'm sorry, I'm screwing this all up. So that's maybe part of it, is that people had you not trusting your own work, or getting you screwed up, or tricking you up in your own work somehow. So the man was not a priest, but he was some type of a government official. That's what it was. Or higher up leader in the new Cuban reality. And this sex worker was wearing a cross. And this powerful man basically told her not to wear the cross, and you shouldn't be wearing this cross. And basically he took the cross from her. And you could tell she didn't want to give it away. It was special to her. But he took it from her because that Cuba had become a communist nation at that point, and there was this whole, down with religion, right? That's another scene. I don't know how that ties into the work you're doing, but it may be that everybody's going to have an opinion, and there are going to be people in authority that think they can tell you that you should remove certain aspects of your work because it's too religious, or it's too spiritually based, or it's not scientific. Okay, I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. So I'll just say that. And now I'm seeing a window. Just a pane window, like a four, like a, almost like a crossroads, but it's a window. That's kind of interesting. And voyeurism is coming through with the window. I don't know why. So some voyeurism and your windows. Someone might have been watching you through your windows, or that someone might have been watching you through your computer or through your windows, right? Or something like that. That might be something that came through for you, that you had to secure your material in a deeper way. That's what it's showing me with regard to this window. Yeah, yikes. Now it's showing me like those chalk outlines of a body. So I know that's a little dark. That might tie back to that Moab story. I don't know, because that young person went off a cliff, I think. So I don't, but it just feels related somehow. I don't know. And I don't know if it's related. I don't know enough about that channeled message to say any more about it. So I feel like I need to kind of be careful, because I don't really know the story other than what I was shown. So I'll just read some tiles now, and that'll be it. Let me go ahead and actually close this though and move that out of the way. So super interesting. I might pull some more Lenormand just to get a little bit more details about what is the actual, what happened, or what's the theft, or who's the trickster, like what's the deal, because I'm curious about it. I want to know. But it's getting kind of dark too. It's going to get too dark in here to stream in a little bit. What else about this situation, Spirit? Gov. Somebody might work for the government. Motor. Cove. So boats are coming, striking me as important again. This is the third time now. Like a motorboat, cove, going into a cove. Rum is here. This might have, some of this might be taking place somewhere in the islands, like in the Caribbean. Tot. Cover. rot. Tuesday. Must. So there's something about distillation and wine making, which is interesting because I didn't intend for that to be a theme that came through, but it is. It's coming through here. With this rot, like I'm thinking of like the aging in barrels. I'm not seeing any names yet. Let me just pull a few more and see if any names come out, and then I'll call it good. Government is here all the way. So not just gov, but government is now here as a word. So that's going to have meaning for someone. Love. Here's love. There was no love in the reading really, but now here it is. Other than you, because you're kind of a healer. Love it. That could be somebody's name. Or love it. People are going to love it, your work. Rogue. Some of your ideas, I think, are rogue, right? Which is what's making them stand out. Rogue is also a brewery where I live, and it's known to be a coastal brewery. And so beer making or the coast, boats might have meaning, right? That's all sort of been circling around this energy. Sting. Mist. Mr. Tim. I'm trying to pull some names out here. TV. TV could be important. STEM. We were talking about science versus spirituality, and now STEM. Trig, like trigonometry. We have trigonometry here, the entire word, trigonometry. That's interesting. Because we have this blank one for the Y at the end. Reina. Yeah, for some reason I'm not pulling any names out. I'm sure there are a lot of names here. They're just not coming through for me for whatever reason. We got Tim, and I feel like that was it. Someone's last name could be Lovett as well, like Lyle Lovett. Storm. Comet. All right, I think that's going to be all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for the night, but I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. And I will see you in the next one. Be good out there.